Welcome to another Amazing Race 25 recap podcast from the UR Team Number Facebook group. My name is Michael Harmstone, and I'm joined, as ever, by our special guest, the one Australian who guessed before the season the only clothesline in this season would be from Brooke and Robbie, Ben Powell.
Howdy.
Howdy. Good morning, Australia. Very morning, Australia, actually, isn't it?
Yeah, 1 a.m. Australia.
1 a.m. in the morning. If you want to get in contact with us during the next hour, you can post comments on this video if you're watching on YouTube. There's a Q&A on the Google Plus page, or you can get your opinions in on the Facebook group, which is linked to the video description. Alternatively, Twitter's using the hashtag YatandCast, which you can see whenever any of us speak, because Logan can't bother turning up this week. And also, whilst I remember it, a very happy birthday to the king of hashtag Malaysian our good friend Eamon. There we are.
Woo!
He gets his dedication that he wanted. I promised him it. He wanted a 5-minute monologue from us about how awesome he is, but I said he'd have to get on to you about that because I ain't got time.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
I did.
We could just do a long Gordon Ramsay impression in his honor.
Yeah, I'd rather not. That wasn't the highlight of YatandCast for me. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I don't know how to do it, so.
No, I did allude to it in the intro. You might notice the lack of Canadianism, and I do have a little statement from him. He's gone to Toronto
really?
for a secret project. So it says, "Dear Mr. Harmstone, it's come to my attention we'll be fighting soon. Mano a mano. This is boring. Oops, wrong side. Dear friends, by now you'll have noticed I'm missing from the podcast this week. I can't say what I'm doing, but let's say you probably have a clue, and don't make a detour to find me. You can interview me about it next week, Logan." Oh, what he's alluding to there. I'm sure we'll interrogate him about it next week.
How intriguing.
How intriguing. Have you got any...
If I had a beard, I would stroke it.
Yeah, you shaved unlike me. That's come on. Yeah, Gast isn't special enough. Anyway, we should probably get to this interesting episode. It didn't anger me as much as last week's did, but Scotland does that for me anyway.
It's probably a repayment for trying to be independent.
Yeah. You know, when we went through the American customs, we actually got interrogated about the Scottish independence referendum because it was the day after. The customs guard was actually asking us about it and saying, how do we feel about the Scottish independence referendum tomorrow? We just went, we care, do what they want.
Yeah, the only real thing I noticed about it, like the thing that brought it to my attention was someone went on Grindr, which is basically the gay version of Tinder, and like asked at least like 100 or 100, I can't remember, if it was 100 or 1,000 people, like just basically 1,000 profiles or 100 profiles, what they thought of the Scottish referendum wanting to be independent from the UK, and like that was basically the thing that brought it to my attention. There were actually a few good responses that were screen capped. The rest were like the sort of lecherous stuff you see on dating apps like that. So yeah.
It's going down. You're yelling Grindr. as opposed to the traditional version of that, which is it's going down Suki and Jinder. I have so many of these. He's slightly camp. His name's Judge Rinder. I know I mentioned Judge Rinder to you a couple of weeks ago. Watch it if you can. It is amazing. He's like a sassy Judge Judy.
All right.
He's the best thing ever.
Anyway, we were on Amazing Race at some point, weren't we?
Quiche? Is this the 1980s? He looked at me like the gay that I forgot. I love Judge Rinder so much. So previously on The Amazing Race, Brooke and Robbie and their Yoda-like advice from the drill sergeant, who's still my favourite person ever, Scott Whitney's pratfalls, not Chris Pratfalls, of course. The king of films at the moment, hashtag pratfalls. And for that matter, he did do some pratfalls in Parks and Rec.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, you don't even know Chris Pratt? I am disappointed.
The only Pratt I know is Stephanie Pratt.
Oh God, that says so much about you, Ben.
I also know Spencer Pratt as well.
Yeah, everyone knows Spencer.
Only because I want to punch him in the face one day.
Adam and Bethany's Express Pass and win, and Dennis and Isabel's elimination were all mentioned. And
Mm-hmm.
for the second week on the trot, we didn't get full departure times. One
Mm,
thing that
yeah.
massively annoys me. Canada spoiled me with this. Every week we had full departure times.
Yeah. But at least we got like, at least jumping ahead massively. At least we got like everyone got like you are team number, insert number here.
Yeah, true. I think that was just because of how many teams there were more than
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah. I'm not gonna have to change our top podcast name anymore to Awkward Silence Cast.
Yes.
Until Logan comes back.
Yeah. And then Logan just has his own awkward silences from the lag.
That was what I was getting at.
So teams will travel from the city of Dreaming Spires, Oxford, to the Shetland Islands via Aberdeen, where they must find cars and take a ferry. Once they reach the islands, they have to find the RNLI and a puffin for the first time this leg for their next win.
I didn't actually know what a puffin was until I saw this episode.
The
I've
one
never heard of it.
Before I saw the episode, the one thing that I saw was a picture of Phil next to a puffin, and I went, "What the hell?" For want of a better term, what the actual are you doing to me? A puffin as a greeter.
Anything to burst those veins in your forehead.
At least next week they're going to somewhere I have been, but not not the same country I live in. That's all I have to say.
Intriguing.
Well, they're going. Yeah, spoilers. They're going to two cities next week, but only one of them I've been to. I'm sure we'll get onto that.
We will
Because
get onto that.
I know you know location spoilers like I do.
I don't actually.
No, yeah.
I only know one of the countries coming up, but that's it.
Is that from my sheer delight at saying my ox is broken is back? Which it is. Spoilers.
That and the new country that came this season that I can't remember what it's called. So yeah.
Which I know Logan's very excited about actually.
That's the only thing that draws him to the amazing. That's the only thing that drew him to the Amazing Race between 14 and 19. So
yeah, it really is.
Like new countries.
Yeah, like
Seychelles.
the Seychelles. So I love how Whitney thought that there would actually be a train from Oxford to Aberdeen at 1 a.m. It's England. Of course the trains don't run.
Ever?
Well, they do run, just usually quite delayed, and also they'll have stopped by like midnight. I saw an article a couple of days ago complaining about how Heathrow's trains don't run after midnight. Neither the tube nor the actual train run from Heathrow, so people have to get night buses and stuff.
Huh. Yeah, that's all I know about that. This is the extent I know about trains. I just see them as fast things to get me places. Really, I don't know anything about the workings of.
Yeah, Australia's not big on trains, really, is it?
No, I've been on this. I've been on the same line. If I've ever travelled on a train in Australia, it's been the same line going up and down from Sydney for the past, same line, no deviation whatsoever.
No deviation,
not big on
or repetition.
Yeah, we're not big on trains. There's plans to make a actual fast train system running across the country, but until then we're stuck with planes.
And Virgin in Australia is sponsoring the Amazing Race. So
halfway through this podcast, we'll get a quiz, and then we'll be able to win some Virgin Australia points.
That would actually be quite cool because they'd come in very handy, but still. Virgin Australia, if you want to give me stuff, I'm here. Just pandering for stuff now. So Scott decided to take a tumble when running to the train station, despite the fact that there is no train for 6 hours. You don't have to at all.
Even though I don't like him, it was like I've tumbled and done that to my ankle. So, well, not exactly that to that extent, but I've twisted and pulled and dislocated and broken my ankle. So that exact ankle so many times. It's sort of like
so have I. Yeah, so have I. I mean, I did it when I went to Toronto. I fell off a curb. Perfectly sober, can I just point out? And re-aggravated an old injury. And because of the air pressure, it blew up to like 5 times the size it should have been. Yay! That was cool.
Oh, I once did it 3 times in one night. That was fun.
That's quite impressive.
Yeah, and I wasn't even on a slope or anything. I was just on a flat floor, and I landed on. I just stepped wrong once, and I landed on it wrong twice.
I've done it in both ankles actually. Come to think of it.
Ugh.
Not at the same time.
It's not. It wasn't this. And like, what's her face? I can't remember who said it, but like, it wasn't the size or the color it was supposed to be. So.
Yeah, it really wasn't.
Mm.
So everyone caught up to the train to spoilers via Birmingham from or to go to Aberdeen.
But in the meantime, we got Kim and Ali holding a dance party in the middle of the street.
Yeah.
Because everyone else was so boring.
I mean, Eric did post the link to this the longer version of this confessional, but they're just irritating me slightly with that. Everyone's so boring. They want to race. What are they here for? Come to think of it, are they not here to try and win?
I actually want to know what song they're dancing to, because it was like the song we got was like a generic Amazing Race soundtrack music. I doubt that was playing in a pub at 2 a.m. or whatever time it was.
Well, they did. We actually got their departure time. It was 12:22. Adam and Bethany came in at midnight even. Then it was Misty and Jim 16 minutes later. Kim and Ali at 12:22. Keith and Whitney at 12:36. And then Tim and TJ weren't shown. Michael and Scott were the last ones shown with 1:16. I don't know why Tim and TJ's weren't shown.
Interesting.
Yeah, we had 1 through 4, and then 6. That was it.
Yeah, that's pretty weird.
It is.
Maybe they're just like, Michael and Scott. Well, the only like time that was really different from the others was like Shelley and Nisi, because they were the ones in the race for last place, while Michael and Scott, Brooke and Robbie, and Amy and Maya all came in at the same time. So I guess they sort of thought we'd extrapolate the whole they arrived at the same time, so I guess they'll depart at the same time thing.
Yeah, but I still want to see what time that was.
Yeah, but if like little stuff like not seeing a few departing times, and like not showing the ones that and not occasionally showing UR team number, insert number here. If that's what we get to get a season that's this good so far, I don't mind that. I don't mind that. I mean, it's traditional, but it's traditional to get all this information we want to see. But like, if that's the trade-off, like a little bit missing for whole lot of quality, I'll just take that. I'll just take that.
Yeah, the reason that it irritates me is because we had a running joke with the Canadian podcast that Ryan and Rob were probably about 24 hours behind by the end of the season compared to Natalie and Megan. I wouldn't be able to research this if they were so, or if they don't give me departure times, would I?
Guess so.
So, did you also notice that Scott massively bastardized Monty Python's quote? He said that his ankle was merely a flesh wound. No, it's only a flesh wound. Get it right, especially in the UK.
Yeah, well, that's not like a complete bastardization. That's sort of like "Beam me up, Scotty," or "Luke, I'm your father." Really.
Yeah, it's pretty close though.
Well, he did get pretty close, and I guess I don't even know why I'm defending them. I don't like them. Keep going.
So aside from seeing disgusting screenshots of Scott's ankle, which thankfully I am not going to be screenshotting.
Yay!
I know ever since #Olympian Peak, I do have a trend of trying to go for the most disgusting screenshots, but not this time. It makes me wince every time I saw it.
And we are all grateful for that.
Yeah, there wasn't much to talk about with the picking up the cars or the ferry. So once teams received their clue from the Puffin, they must drive to Scalloway Castle. And for the first time this season, Emmy and Maya received the clue in first, with Michael and Scott in second.
Ooh.
Yeah, they actually managed to get somewhere first for once. And Michael and Scott also had the ugly American confessional of slagging off the island drivers' abilities. So yeah,
Where would we be? Where would we be without America? Assuming they're the right way to run the world.
yeah, pretty much. And Keith and he had my favourite confessional every season. It's our anniversary, so we got to win.
I
Oh,
like how it actually like sounded like they're going to give more of a confessional. Like 4 years ago we were on Survivor, and then it was just immediately cut off. It was like, oh, there it goes.
I know you
I
don't
mean, I,
like
I
me.
like what?
I know you don't like me mocking Keith and Whitney, but I do have a couple of Keith and Whitney bits today.
It's fine with me. Like
The-
I can like a team without necessarily agreeing with them or wanting them to win or anything like that. But I just it's just Whitney was such a grump this episode.
I,
I loved it.
I won't go for the low-hanging fruit of 3 years ago. I was cheating on my husband, but I'll go pretty close.
Yeah, 3 years ago.
Yeah, well, she said 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a
Yeah, it
couple.
was actually 3 years ago because
Yeah, it was.
yeah, in
Season
both
23.
filming time and airing time because they filmed South Pacific and yeah, they're both sort of same time in different years. So interesting.
Um,
Yes.
so once teams have been scared absolutely crapless in the castle, they find out it's a detour, which is pony up a lot or light my fire. And pony up requires teams to cut 50 blocks of peat using a traditional tool and deliver 2 loads of it using a Shetland pony up the local farmhouse.
What?
Up the. And,
I'm gonna just pretend I didn't hear what you first said before you said Shetland pony.
yeah, Shetland. Hashtag Shetland pony.
I think you said shitless pony.
Yes, we'll go. Hashtag shitless pony. And like my
We're
fire,
12-year-old.
yeah, like my fire requires team in 3 stages to receive their next clue.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sorry, you cut out for me a bit there, so
Yeah,
it was sort of like
I don't know what notification came up there, but it was something about my microphone. It's wrong anyway.
okay.
So yeah,
Make a torch, light something on fire.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
make a torch in 3 stages to their very exacting standards.
Yeah.
Which one would you have
Okay.
picked?
Um. I probably would have tried the pony one and then given up after I couldn't get the thing out, like Amy Meyer did. Well, they didn't give up, but they couldn't get it, so I probably would have given up, then gone to the torch one.
Yeah, I think whenever you're faced with an animal task, you've got to have a look at the other one first. Because if the other one is horrible, then you think, I could probably do the animals, unless you're like Sally from Amazing Race Australia. She's looking for animal tasks.
Oh.
But yeah, don't go for ponies. Ever. Ever.
The only thing I know about Shetland ponies is I saw one in a comic once, but that's basically it.
Yeah,
And all its main characteristic was it ate everything in sight.
they're little, they're small ponies who are quite reflective of the people of Scotland generally.
Temperamental and
You said
that's
it
all I
then.
got.
Yeah, you said it. I would never slag off Scotland. Uh,
That's because they're still a part of your country, or yeah.
Yeah, Tim and TJ had my favourite quote of the entire episode when they were getting directions. What's a quarry? Have Tim
Wait,
and
what is a
TJ
quarry?
Have Tim and TJ never heard of a quarry? It's where stone
I've-
comes from.
I've heard of a quarry, but I always confuse it for a lorry,
Yeah, it's like,
which I'm not actually.
to be fair,
Which I'm not actually sure.
lorries
Okay,
probably do go go to and from quarries, so not that far.
Yeah. My favorite quote was Keith wondering if the Shetland ponies would be anything like donkeys, and then he was like that. If he thought so, the main course of action would be to avoid them.
Well, at least that sort of assumes that he's seen season 12, which is good. because they are blatantly recruits at the last minute because it's supposed to be Cat and Hayden, but still.
Well, it'll all work out for the best.
Is,
I don't want Hayden to be the first one to go to all 3 seasons. I said that last week or the week before. So.
is this the most we've ever seen Keith talk as well?
Yeah, I think we got more talking from him in the first episode than we did in the entire South Pacific. So.
Yeah, I think this is basically the most we've seen him talk, and that includes his boot episode on Survivor when he's supposed to get a massive edit.
That's not written in the scriptures for any season involving returning players.
Yeah, but you're supposed to get huge edits generally when you're going to get eliminated, unless you're Cochrane, in which case you get a huge edit every episode. Regardless
or
of
your name's Michael Snow and you don't get anything at a confessional in that episode.
Well, to be fair, Corinne was the one allowing him to get any edit because he's her gay.
Fun.
Do you notice why Jim said that he would be good at cutting the peat?
I don't know why. Why did I say that, Michael?
Because in high school he was a bodybuilder. As for Bill and
Kathy.
Yes.
Oh.
I'm just going to leave Bill and Kathy lunging there for as long as it's physically possible.
Okay. Okay then. Okay.
Because they're everyone's favourite bodybuilding couple. Ever. And we're devolving into just childish giggling at Bill and Kathy's lunch.
You said lunch.
Yeah. Whitney had a great quote about getting the nail into the wood as well. Because that's all what she's about.
All right. Moving on.
I mean, the ponies were being quite friendly until Jim and Misty tried to go up the hill the second time. And then all hell broke loose.
Yeah. They probably got a good look at him. And they freaked the fuck out. They thought, that's sort of like the last thing. In most things, it's like the last thing you see before you die.
Scared by his teeth, which Phil seems to be weirdly obsessed with.
And once again, the giant bulging serial killer eyes.
I like Jim and Misty though. I think they are one of my favourite teams purely because they're so unashamed about being quote unquote villains and trying to win everything.
Quote unquote really needs to be in there because all they've been doing the past few legs is helping people. Yeah. Except for like this, because that's only because they're so dominant. So
they're getting a villain. We're gonna get you turn the hell out of us edit, but they don't really need to.
Have any of the teams that actually have been the most dominant Amazing Race teams ever actually gotten confessionals saying we're going to be the most dominant Amazing Race team ever? The last one I heard was Ryan and Abby, and that did not turn out the way the scripture intended.
I've got a feeling that Dave and Rachel might have had at least one of those confessionals.
Just so, was it made like the main focus of their edit?
Oh no!
Like that they want to be the most dominant.
Oh no!
That was Dave. I mean, all I remember is Dave being a grump and Rachel being and Rachel saying in response to Dave saying, "Dave, silence is golden." Then why don't you shut the fuck up? Oh yeah.
Doing what is known in the business.
I hate that season, but I love that quote.
Yeah, doing what is known in the business as a body break.
Yeah, that implies she wasn't a straw harpy beforehand.
Which I will bring up at every single opportunity because it absolutely is one of my favourite things of Amazing Race Canada is body break telling Holly and Brett to F off.
Keep fitting, fuck off.
Yeah, exactly. And Tim also has a confessional saying he loves wrapping presents with all the ribbons and stuff. They got quite a big edit actually. Come to think.
Yeah, they were getting the Shelley and Nishi edit from last episode.
Yeah, Timothy J got a quite large edit. considering.
I don't mind. I don't mind that actually. Like, just randomly giving a big edit to the team that's not going to be leaving that episode anyway, but almost leaving that episode anyway is like it's perfect. It's perfect distraction technique, and if they're going to be deeper in the season, it'll give them like depth and stuff.
Well, it completely got me last week. I was sure Shelley and Niecy were going home.
But that would have been tragic.
I'm still not a huge fan of them, shall we say. It's just
but
something about this.
You're a fan of Cochrane.
Yeah, true, I am. But without Cochrane, we wouldn't have been able to mock Whitney and say that she disgusts me at every single opportunity.
You mean you wouldn't be able to mock Whitney at every
Yeah.
single opportunity?
Well, I mean Amazing Race fans generally, because I have seen a lot of every single thing about Keith and Whitney. It goes along the lines of "You disgust me" every time.
Well,
Anyway,
we could have gotten more of those. We could have got more of those quotes if Cochrane had been eliminated like first episode and we hadn't been subjected to him.
talking of Whitney, I love her pronunciation of cement.
Yeah, we get I know what you mean, and the hard C. Although I'm sure probably shouldn't be saying hard, but the hard C and the silent T. That's always fun.
I don't even have to say anything. I just have to say I love how she pronounces cement. If you've not seen this, watch the episode again. Wait for her to talk about cement. You'll get it. She has an interesting way of saying it, shall we say. She loves a sailor, shall we say. So Jim and Misty leave the detour in first, with Shelley and Niecy in second, Adam and Bethany in third, Amy and Maya in fourth, Tim and TJ.
So basically, that part of the detour was the one you should be doing, basically.
Yeah, everyone with Pony left really early. I don't know why.
Yeah, the only reason Amy and Maya didn't come in second was because they got lost when going to the pit stop. So
yeah, they went into a Presbyterian church instead. So Tim and TJ left in fifth, Michael and Scott in sixth, Kim and Ali seventh, Keith and me in eighth, that disgusts me, and Brooke and Robbie in last because they can't bend it now. And teams have to drive to Berry Farm to find their next clue.
I'm probably gonna get my own special overlay for the next time you make that joke. So
What? That I discussed them? Oh, they discuss me.
something like that. But you'll see.
Oh no.
Next episode.
Yeah, but Ben's now going to be doing what I do and just make an absolute load of overlays all the time.
All I need is one. I have my tongue for the rest.
Oh, good. Yes, Ben has his tongue for the rest. So
you can interpret it any way you like, because I have no shame. So yeah.
We have a particularly fun task at Berry Farm, where teams aren't allowed to use border collies, which is a shame because border collies are infinitely cute, and instead have to corral 8 sheep through 3 gates and then into a pen.
Oh, it would have been more. It would have been got there forever if they had to actually do the whole thing at once instead of just like through the gate, through the fences, then into the pen. If you had to they couldn't do it separately. If they had to do the whole thing at once, that would have been forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were a little easy with that, but yeah, I don't mind because it leads to like stuff like Tim and TJ trying to make a clothes barrier.
What they should have done was give them a border collie puppy and make them train it, because that would have been hilarious. Because that puppy would not have listened to them in the slightest. And also, border collie puppies are very cute. So I would have just been.
I had one for like 10 years. So yeah.
I would have been just screenshotting, going, "Oh." Do you notice Shelley and Niecy's nickname for Jim and Misty? Which is actually quite appropriate, and it should be their hashtag, the Tooth Fairies.
Oh, I don't. Oh my God! Imagine being a kid and the tooth fairies are real, and you're 6 years old, and you wake up and you say, "Jim, have you been a good little boy?"
Can I bench press you? I am Batman. Why does your Jim impression sound like Batman?
Oh, they didn't mean to. I just got a sore throat. Have you been a good little boy? I was trying to do Misty.
Also, Shelley and Nisi got the traditional dumbass sound effects when they pulled up to the farm and said that the sheep task would be easy and fun. Bong.
Oh, good thing I wasn't.
Yeah.
I don't want to see teams having fun. I don't want to see teams doing stuff easily.
I thought Amazing Race was supposed to be fun.
But I ain't got no clothes.
But I ain't got no clothes. Please never.
I wonder if that sheep tastes like baby bear soup.
Baby bear soup.
I don't even know that means.
Why have we got to Bopper and Mark? On that subject,
Because impressions are fun. Impressions are fun.
have you seen that Bopper's been posting the hell on Facebook out of a campaign trying to get them back on?
No.
Oh dear God! I actually probably wouldn't watch that season. I'm not a fan of them. I know I mentioned
I am, but that's because they're the only one of the only teams I can actually like in season 20.
And I know I mentioned this when we did season 24, but I was never on the Bopper and Mark train, and all the ugliness that he showed towards Mallory was exactly what I was expecting. I was not shocked.
But Mark, he ain't got no clothes.
I ain't got no clothes. I'll buy clothes. Mallory's just like, yeah, I can live with that, whatever. I can live without clothes.
And
be right.
Teams didn't know that before, so
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Logan's covering Amazing Race 16 at the moment. He's just got to the leg where
Steve and Ali
left their backpacks somewhere. It was at the beach, wasn't it?
Yeah, but since they got like the most invisible edit for the first 7 episodes, no one really cared. And least of all Phil.
I loved the screenshot of Steve and Ali's reaction when they won the prize from 7-Up. Because contrast that with Mallory's reaction to winning the Snapple prize 2 seasons later. He takes one sip of the Amazing Race Snapple and just goes, oh, best together. So,
on Mark and Bopper, like, as was, you don't like them, but like I don't like the archetype they represent. The whole like good old Southern boy, redneck / hillbilly. We're just good old simple Southern people who are racing around the world. Oh my gravy!
Yeah, we've never left our town.
It was good. I liked it when David and Mary did it, and then I got sick of it by Matt and Daniel, and then Tim and Danny, despite how good they actually were, I was like, go away.
Back to your Batman impression. So, as you mentioned,
I like doing Batman reading a story, reading a children's story. Good night, moon.
Once upon a time.
Good night, moon. Good night, stars jumping over the moon.
We're going on a bear hunt. So as you mentioned, Tim and TJ tried stripping to win or to escape the sheep task. And all they did was just give another barrier for the sheep to jump over.
Sorry, I just serrated my own throat there.
Yeah, I noticed. See, Batman impressions are bad, kids. So Jim and Misty leave the active route info in first and are directed to St. Ninian's Isle, the pit stop for this leg of the race. The last team to check in may be eliminated, unless you're Jim and Misty, in which case you won't be eliminated. And Amy and Maya leave in second, with Sheep Whisperers, Adam and Bethany in third, Keithy in fourth, Shelley and Nisi fifth, Kim and Ali in sixth, Brooke and Robbie seventh, Michael and Scott leaving 8th, leaving Tim and TJ in 9th.
Yeah.
And Amy and
And, hope,
Maya
and at
Michael and
least
Scott.
at least they like got rid of the stupid barrier because otherwise they ain't got no clothes.
Hang on, I'm cold!
All right, I'll stop now.
I won't.
Fine, I won't either.
Yeah, and Amy and Maya and Michael and Scott both get terrible directions. Amy and Maya get directed back to the castle. That they.
Why would you go to a pub for directions anyway? Like, it's the middle of it's the middle of the day in Scotland. You know they're already drunk, so.
That's Ben's
Well,
opinion, not mine. Please, no Scottish people abuse me because I'm used to that at work.
Oh.
Um,
I was just about to push it way over the top with the jokes. I thought of several inappropriate things I could have said, but I'm not because I'm a good person.
oh, it's all right. I resisted the urge to do a terrible joke about Bethany. So.
Oh,
yeah,
I'm not gonna actually there was something I was gonna say, like Bethany the sheep whisperer. Discuss.
Come here, sheep.
They, it's not that she has any special skill in communicating with sheep. They just think she's actually speaking sheep. So.
Bah. I'm the sheep whisperer. And we're back to mocking her.
Only for her Hawaiian inflection.
But yeah, whilst with the museum so close to the farm, you go to the museum first because that's tourist information. Surely.
Yeah. So they actually have tourist information at museums?
Well, if there wasn't a tourist information around, I would probably go for a museum above a pub, for example. Because pubs aren't, known for sober people, generally.
Especially in Scotland in the middle of the day.
Your words, not mine.
They want they can fight me.
I'm not going anywhere near the Scots.
I'm about 10,000 kilometers away, so.
Yeah. The problem is, as we found out during Amazing Race 24, any abuse you give anyone will then go towards me. Logan started abusing the country singers. I started getting the abuse on the comments. Like, Michael,
as you should, because country singers were awesome. They were less bad than everyone else.
Michael, you're so mean, you couldn't do any better. Yes, I could. Pretty sure I could outperform the country singers in the Amazing Race. Just putting it out there. If anyone wants to put me if anyone wants to put me on an Amazing Race and challenge me to beat their running average of an amazing crap 4.565.
It means you have to get better than 4 every single leg.
Well, put it this way: they were third bottom in Amazing Race All Stars for their.
So that they got beat by they didn't get beat by 20s.
Nope.
Joey and Megan.
20s had a better average over their 2 seasons. I mean, in terms of all the seasons they've been on. The running average.
I thought you meant just in that. I thought you meant that just in that season.
Oh no, in that season they were not much higher. They were 5th actually in that season.
But sounds right. Sounds right enough.
Which 2 teams have a worse running average than them?
Joey and Megan.
Yep, they're bottom.
And not Jessica and John. Or it could be. Is it Jessica and John?
It is Jessica and John. Caroline and Jennifer have 4.565, Jessica and John 5.273, and Joey and Megan 5.769.
The best teams in Amazing Race history.
And Caroline and Jennifer are 24th of 33 teams who've raced in an All-Stars. With David and Mary, John Vito and Jill, Amanda and Chris, Jamie and Cara, Mel and Mike, Kinton Vixen, and Terry and Ian being the ones that we've not mentioned who are worse than them.
How many All-Stars have never won a season? Never won a leg?
Never won a leg. Oof, I don't know that one. Rob and Amber have, Dave and Connor have, Dustin and Candice have, Jet and Code have, Ozzy and Danny, yes. Let's
go from the bottom up. Go from the bottom up.
Dave and Mary haven't. No, they have actually, haven't they? Joey and Megan
Yeah.
haven't. John Vito and Jill
Have.
have. Jess and John obviously have. Amanda and Chris haven't because they got second highest. Jamie and Cara definitely have. Mel and Mike.
Wait, Jamie and Cara, I don't. They do to be continued legs count as winning a leg, or
Doing my book, they won jet skis from it.
they did? I thought
Yeah.
they just won their next clue.
No, they won jet skis. It was unaired, but they won it. Wikipedia told me.
Ah, cool.
As a
Good for
general,
them.
yeah, as a general rule, if you win the midpoint of a leg, yeah, you've won. You've won technically a leg in my book.
Mm. Unless you're weirded up like in the Amazing Race Asia Season 2.
With the
Like-
train ride to train riding Korea or Japan. Japan, wasn't it?
Japan, yeah. And then because like Daichi and Sakawa or whatever their names were, I can't remember. That was I think that was the names. Like
I think that was Logan's nickname for them. Daichi and Sucker. So what?
I said Sakawa. I'm not Logan's sense of humor. Wait, I don't sprinkle video game references in everything I say.
Yeah, despite the fact that Logan loved Suki and Jinder as much as I did, he still called them Suki and Jinder occasionally. For example. Anyway, back to who hasn't won a leg. So we've had one so far. Mel and Mike, I believe, did.
Have
Kent and Vixen, don't think they did.
never.
Nope. Terry and Ian, definitely. Carradine didn't, so that's 2. Ron and Christina, yes. Kevin and Drew.
No, that's 3. Joy and Megan,
Oh, yeah.
Gibson, Caroline and Jen.
No, yeah. So that's 3, yeah. Kevin and
Yep.
Drew,
Yep.
Mark and Mallory. Mark has, and Mallory's won a couple.
And Mel has.
Yeah. Zeb and
Yeah.
Justin, definitely. Flight 10 Big Easy, yeah. Charlotte and Mirna, yeah. Nad, yeah.
2, yeah.
I think it's only 3, actually. Yeah, it's only 3. 3 of
Oh,
33 teams. And
Yeah, because once you start getting higher, they get into the big averages where you know they've won.
in my rankings, like Jet and Cord appear twice because they were on unfinished. It was their running total up to unfinished business, and then their running total up to the end of 24. And same with Flight 7 Big Easy and Magic Luke. So it's actually only 30 teams who've played
Hmm.
in the All Stars. Anyway, now that we've got
Anyway.
topic, Jim and Misty get to St. Ninian's Isle in first, and their prize is a hello from a puffin and a trip from Travelocity to Dubai.
I know which one I'd want.
A hello from a puffin, obviously.
Obviously.
Apparently, there was about 10 minutes of unaired footage from the pit stop just because Phil couldn't help cracking up at the puffin.
Oh, I bet.
And
That
second,
can't be a high point of his career.
second was Adam and Bethany. And according to the puffin, it's a little chilly.
Oh.
The third was, of course, Keith and Sassy Whitney.
Yeah, sassy.
You don't realise how long it took me to get that screen cap of Whitney's sass face. It's only up for about a quarter of a second at most. So I was so impressed when I got it. Fourth was Shelley and Nisi.
They
Fifth,
were great.
Amy
Who
and
you haven't seen as
Fire.
great as yet because you're evil or something.
I just have a thing against FF teams, like you have a thing against MM teams.
That's well, we all know that. Yeah, we all know.
I don't.
We all know how dominant in society and at the top of every single field females are.
Yeah, says the guy who supported Dustin and Candice, is still a major fan of Brooke and Claire. Come on, Claire! Thinks Mallory is one of the greatest racers ever. Well, one of the most fun races ever.
Hmm.
I'll correct that statement. Because she's just so enthusiastic about everything. She's so happy to be there. And then you pair her with Mark, and he's just he's basically Eeyore. But I don't have no clothes! Winnie.
Yes, Pooh Bear, but I don't have any clothes, Pooh Bear.
Kim and Ali were 7th, and Tim and TJ scraped through in 8th. which meant Michael and Scott, with their terrible directions, came in last place and were eliminated.
Yay!
Everyone's going to cry about that, I know. We're so sad.
I wish I had like a soundboard where I could play like crickets or a tumbleweed or something.
Yes. Or just someone
Yeah,
screaming.
I didn't like as much as I didn't like them the first two legs. I felt a bit bad for them this leg, and I didn't dislike them that much. So they left a goodish impression on me. So that's good.
However, they didn't leave a goodish impression on the rankings, being 8.33.
Wah wah.
Assuming Shelley and Nisi come in last next week, the worst they can manage is 7.25. So they are firmly 9th place now. And next week we have Denmark finally, a proper Denmark leg. Now this season 19 rubbish, with cakes and bikes and a Shelley and Nisi meltdown that they're massively showing on the previews. Because I've seen one preview already.
I wonder what that means.
Yeah. It worries me that they're focusing on it already, because that probably means there's not much to the episode. If they're
It'll probably be a Col. I hope it's not a Colton thing or a this season thing of Survivor where they're just like showing. Oh, by the way, a team gets someone gets medevaced, someone quits. Watch it.
Yeah, I think that they're probably. It's not a good sign if they're already teasing pit stop drama and only showing one task. Having said that, that's probably because it doesn't all take place in Denmark.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Interesting.
Interesting, because if I am not mistaken, they go to Sweden.
Wait, before or after Denmark?
After. Same leg, but after.
Interesting.
They are. When season 19 went to Denmark, there was rumours of the Roskilde Museum being closed for the day. I think it was done as a sort of decoy for all the RFF people. Roskilde is a famous Viking museum, sort of probably about 30-ish miles outside Copenhagen, which I've been to. And just like round the corner from Roskilde is the bridge to Malmö in Sweden. So that's where they're going. They're going to Malmö. And one other location that CBS have now confirmed, thanks to the title of the fifth leg, which is called Moroccan Roll. So they're going back to Morocco. Yay!
Woo! They haven't been to Morocco since season 10?
Yeah, I want to say season 10.
Yeah, let's say season 10 because why not?
Morocco was rumoured last season when they told us it'd be 9 countries, which of course was utter horseshit.
How many countries was it? 6 countries?
8. 8 countries. They said 4 continents, 9 countries. It was 3 continents, 8 countries.
Yeah, there's amazing. I think there's an Amazing Race Asia season that does more countries than that.
Amazing Race Asia 3, I think it was. Logan and I actually worked out that by the halfway point of their season, they had done more countries than Amazing Race 24 had. They'd done 4, I think it was, and Amazing Race 24 had done 3. Which is pretty bad. So, who do you think...
Best races ever!
Hardest
toughest race ever.
Who do we think's going to or come last place next week?
I hope not Shelley and Nishi because they're my spirit animals right now. Or at least until Bianca Del Rio does something funny again.
In a Frankie Grande with Kathy Griffin way.
Oh, you haven't been following my Facebook, have you? I've been proclaiming dozens of people as my spirit guide for the last years.
Yeah, no, but seems though we were talking about Frankie Grande shouting that Kathy Griffin was his spirit animal.
Oh.
I thought I should probably, annoy you a little bit by saying it.
I wish I could do that the verbal version of like that glitter text because all I'd do is just like do it in capital letters. Fuck Frankie Grande.
Have you heard that?
Fuck Brother 16.
Have you heard Frankie and Zach are rumored for the next Amazing Race?
Oh, fuck everything.
They're not really, but there was a fan campaign, and Zach Zach went into an interview and said, well, I'm not going on the Amazing Race with him. No.
Thank God. He has better taste than that.
Yeah, I have better things to do, like
Apart
become
from
famous.
grinding up on him all season.
Well, yeah.
Mm.
So, we'll be back with our spirit animal Logan next week. He's basically.
You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to like point out how like during the torch making side of the detour that like the Vikings just like the lead Viking whenever he was fighting he was just doing ah.
That's what
I was
Vikings
just gonna but like every single time like for the first few times that they went there, I was like ah. So like I was just randomly gonna interrupt when you're talking about the torches and just go ah. I can't do it anymore. My throat hurts from all the Batman speak.
I am Batman. So if you want to be my kind of pain in the ass to Logan, please tweet at LogSuperKawaki. How did the Amazing Race Canada final interviews go? Because that will really wind him up.
Yeah. Leave his Twitter in the comment description just in case anyone follows up on that.
Oh, I will. Don't worry about that. And
leave mine too because I want more traffic.
So do I. I've only got like 200 followers. I feel so neglected.
I've got 168, and Logan has like 20.
True.
I think Michelle's the most famous of us all. She has like 400.
I've got 291. Michelle has 22.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh, I must confuse it with someone else. Oh. Well.
And
yeah, I think I might confuse it with someone else. Yeah. Oh well.
Eamon has an impressive 78.
So I'm like the second most famous YTN cast member.
Woo! High five.
Actually, technically, I am the most famous because you know like the views on the Australia season are getting close to like 20,000 right now. So
Ben, stop bringing that up.
I will not. 80.
You know I'm jealous. So all three of us will be back next week and winding Logan up about going to Toronto, which may or may not be Park Fan.
Get that out of my face! Get that out of my face!
I mean, his note strongly hinted at it, despite being written in my handwriting. But so thank you very much for watching and listening. We'll be back next Sunday at the same time for the Amazing Race Recap podcast brought to you by the UR Team Number Facebook group. Don't forget to leave your comments down below. And please like the video so we can write up the rankings and I can stop sounding horrendously needy. And you can hit all of us up on Twitter. I will put our Twitter names in the video description. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. I am Batman.